If you can't be happy alone, you'll never be happy with anyone. So, learn to be happy alone in your life. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Yet it's one of the most overlooked lessons in life. Many people spend their entire lives chasing happiness. They look for it in relationships, in friends, in family, in recognition, in money. But when you depend on others to feel complete, you give away your power. True happiness isn't something someone gives you. It's something you create. It's an inside job, a choice you make every single day. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Imagine waking up and enjoying your own company, feeling complete, feeling peaceful, feeling free, not lonely, not bored, not restless, but whole, content, empowered. That's what we'll explore today. How to embrace solitude, how to nurture yourself, how to create joy that doesn't depend on anyone else. Because when you learn to be happy alone, you stop chasing, you stop depending, you stop living in fear of being alone. The strongest relationships you'll ever have are the ones you build with yourself first. And when that foundation is solid, everything else in life aligns. Let's begin with something most people never really consider: the company they keep with themselves. You see, we all have someone we spend the most time with, and that person is you. Yet, so many of us avoid that truth. We fill our hours with noise, distraction, and other people, not because we truly want to, but because we're afraid to be alone. If you can't stand your own company, you'll always be at the mercy of others' moods, opinions, and presence. Think about it. How often do you feel restless when you're by yourself? How often do you reach for your phone, social media, or even the wrong people just to avoid your own thoughts? This is the trap of modern life. We confuse busyness and company with fulfillment. But here's the truth. You can't outsource happiness. No one can make you feel complete. No one can give you peace if you haven't learned to create it within yourself. First, understand the difference between being alone and being lonely. They are not the same. Loneliness is a gap. It is something missing. Being alone is a choice. It is a space you create. Loneliness leaves you powerless. Being alone gives you freedom. One drains you. The other empowers you. The happiest people I know are those who have learned to enjoy their own company. They are never dependent on anyone else to feel good. Embracing your own company allows you to see yourself clearly, without distractions, without comparisons, without judgment from others. It is in this space, quiet, uninterrupted, you discover who you truly are. Your desires, your values, your dreams. Society teaches us that being alone is undesirable, that we must always be in a relationship, always surrounded by friends, always connected. And while connection is important, the lesson that is rarely taught is this: the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Think about it. Every other relationship in life, friends, partners, colleagues, is built on your foundation. If your foundation is weak, shaky, or dependent, no relationship will ever bring you true happiness. You cannot truly love another until you first learn to love yourself. Being alone is not a punishment. It's a gift. It's an opportunity. It's a chance to build strength. When you embrace your own company, you learn self-discipline, gain clarity about your values and goals, build resilience, discover what truly matters. It's in these moments of solitude that you cultivate independence. Not the independence of isolation, but the independence of confidence. Independence is the first step toward freedom, and freedom is the first step toward happiness. You start to enjoy simple things: a morning walk, a quiet cup of coffee, reading a book, journaling your thoughts. You begin to realize that fulfillment doesn't come from people or circumstances. It comes from yourself. So how do you start? 1. Create time, alone, every day. Even 15 minutes of uninterrupted reflection is powerful. Sit quietly. Breathe. Observe your thoughts. No phone, no distractions. Just you. 2. Do something you enjoy alone. Go for a walk. Listen to music. Read. Practice finding joy in activities without needing validation or company. 3. Reflect on your thoughts and goals. Solitude gives you space to ask, who am I? What do I want? What truly matters in my life? 4. Learn to appreciate yourself. Celebrate your own efforts and achievements. Speak kindly to yourself. Treat yourself with respect. The more you honor yourself, the less you'll seek approval elsewhere. When you embrace your own company, a remarkable transformation occurs. You stop chasing people, situations, or fleeting pleasures for happiness. You become self-sufficient. You become grounded. You become calm in the chaos of life. Happiness is a choice. And the first step is choosing yourself. This is the first step in learning to be truly happy alone. It is the step that sets the foundation for every other part of your life. Relationships, career, and personal growth. Because when you can enjoy your own presence, you carry a sense of peace and confidence that nothing external can shake. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You are free. So today, I challenge you. Take a moment to sit with yourself. Be alone, not lonely, but fully present. Notice your thoughts. Feel your heartbeat. Appreciate the gift of being you. The happiest people I know are not those surrounded by others, but those who have learned to be at home in their own skin. Embrace your own company. Build your inner world. And watch how your happiness, your real, lasting happiness, begins to grow. Once you've learned to embrace your own company, the next step is even more powerful. Knowing yourself deeply. Most people go through life without ever really understanding who they are. They float from one circumstance to another, reacting to what life throws at them. They chase success, relationships, or approval, but all of it feels empty because they haven't looked inward. Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. The journey of being happy alone is not just about solitude. It's about discovering your own heart, your values, your passions. It's about becoming someone you enjoy being with so deeply that being alone feels like a gift, not a burden. Imagine building a house without a blueprint. You'd end up with crooked walls, unstable floors, and a leaky roof. Your life is no different. Without knowing yourself, you build on shaky foundations. You make choices that don't align with who you truly are. You pursue goals that aren't yours. You seek approval that doesn't matter. Don't just read books. Read yourself. Discover what makes you tick. Knowing yourself gives clarity. It gives direction. It gives peace. And peace is the soil where happiness grows, especially when you are alone. The first step in knowing yourself is discovering your values. Values are your personal compass. They guide your decisions, your priorities, and your behaviors. Ask yourself, what principles do I refuse to compromise? What qualities do I admire in others? What drives me to feel alive and purposeful? Once you understand your values, you can align your life with them. You no longer live for someone else's expectations or society's definitions. You live according to your own truth. Success is not to be pursued, it is to be attracted by the person you become. And the first person you become is yourself. Knowing yourself deeply also means understanding your passions and strengths. What excites you? What energizes you? What do you do effortlessly, yet brings value to others? Too many people ignore their passions because they think happiness must come from outside validation. But joy begins with doing what you were naturally designed to do. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Spend time exploring your hobbies, talents, and interests. Write down the things that make you feel alive. Reflect on past moments when you were fully engaged, fully energized, fully yourself. This self-knowledge is a gift that makes solitude not just tolerable, but deeply fulfilling. Knowing yourself is also about learning to respect yourself. It's about honoring your needs, your limits, and your dreams. When you know your worth, you stop seeking validation from others. You stop compromising for approval. You stop tolerating what doesn't serve your growth or happiness. The key to happiness is really progress and growth and constantly working on yourself. Self-love isn't selfish, it's essential. When you respect yourself, you attract better experiences, better relationships, and better opportunities. And the most important relationship you will ever have is the one with yourself. Here are some ways to deepen self-knowledge while enjoying your own company. 1. Journal your thoughts and feelings. Write down your daily experiences, your emotions, and your reflections. Over time, patterns will emerge that reveal your priorities, strengths, and areas to grow. 2. Ask yourself deep questions. Spend time alone asking, who am I when no one is watching? What do I truly want from life? What makes me feel fulfilled? 3. Meditate or reflect daily. Even 10 minutes of quiet reflection can help you connect with your inner self. It clears distractions and allows you to hear your own voice. 4. Explore new experiences alone. Travel, try new hobbies, or take on challenges solo. These experiences reveal your resilience, your creativity, and your preferences. When you know yourself deeply, being alone becomes empowering. You don't feel incomplete. You don't feel restless. You feel strong, confident, and aligned. Happiness is not by chance, but by choice. And that choice begins with knowing yourself. You can face life without fear of solitude. You can make decisions without being swayed by others' opinions. You can enjoy every moment because you are fully present with the most important person in your life, you. So today, take the time to explore your inner world. Ask yourself the hard questions. Identify your values, passions, and strengths. Learn to respect yourself and celebrate your uniqueness. Because the person you become when you truly know yourself is the person you'll want to spend your entire life with. The better you become, the happier you become. And happiness is the ultimate reward of knowing yourself. Once you've learned to embrace your own company and know yourself deeply, the next step is simple but not easy. Creating your own happiness. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the right person, the right job, the right circumstances, waiting for someone or something to make them feel complete. And while they wait, they miss life. Happiness is not something you postpone for the future. It is something you design for the present. Happiness is not a destination. It is a daily practice, a choice you make independent of your circumstances. The first step in creating your own happiness is to stop relying on others for it. Look around. How often do people measure their worth by likes, compliments, or attention? How often do they feel upset because someone didn't meet their expectations? This is a trap. Happiness that depends on others is fragile. It shifts, disappears, and leaves you empty. Learn to be happy alone, and you will never be at the mercy of someone else's moods. When you create your own happiness, you stop giving others control over how you feel. You become the source of your own joy, and there's no greater freedom than that. One of the simplest and most effective ways to cultivate happiness is gratitude. Take time every day to notice what is already good in your life. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Feel it in your heart. Gratitude transforms perspective. It shifts focus from what's missing to what's abundant. It builds a foundation for contentment that no one can shake. Happiness is not something you find. It is something you create, and gratitude is the soil in which it grows. Even small things, a warm cup of coffee, a sunny morning, a kind word, become sources of joy when you appreciate them. Another way to create your own happiness is by actively engaging in activities that bring you fulfillment. Do things you love. Pursue hobbies. Learn new skills. Challenge yourself. When you spend time on meaningful pursuits, happiness arises naturally. It isn't dependent on someone else noticing. It comes from the satisfaction of growth, mastery, and personal expression. Happiness is the progressive realization of worthwhile goals. Even in solitude, you can create moments of triumph, a project completed, a skill mastered, a small act of kindness. These moments accumulate. They build confidence, resilience, and inner joy. Creating your own happiness also requires being gentle with yourself. You will make mistakes. You will have bad days. You will feel lonely, restless, or discouraged at times. And that's okay. Happiness isn't the absence of struggle. It's the ability to navigate struggle with grace. The happiest people I know are not perfect. They are patient, forgiving, and kind to themselves. Treat yourself as you would a dear friend. Encourage yourself. Celebrate small wins. Be mindful of your thoughts and avoid harsh self-criticism. When you nurture yourself, you create a stable and enduring happiness that doesn't depend on anyone else. The most important principle to remember is this: happiness is a choice. Life will always have challenges, setbacks, and disappointments. It will throw circumstances you cannot control. And yet, you still have a choice. You can choose to focus on what's missing, or you can choose to focus on what you have. You can let life's difficulties define your mood, or you can define your mood by how you respond. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It is something you create, moment by moment, thought by thought, and action by action. When you make happiness a daily choice, you no longer wait for it. You generate it. You sustain it. You own it. Practical steps to create your own happiness. 1. Start a daily gratitude practice. Write down 3 things you are thankful for each day. 2. Engage in meaningful activities alone. Pursue hobbies, learn new skills, or complete small goals. 3. Reflect on wins daily. Even small achievements are worth celebrating. 4. Practice self-compassion. Be kind to yourself, especially during setbacks. 5. Choose your focus. Decide each morning to look for positivity, growth, and opportunity in every moment. Happiness is not given to you. It cannot be borrowed. It is not found in others. Happiness is yours to create. It begins within. It grows in solitude. It flourishes when you respect yourself, nurture yourself, and focus on what truly matters. The person who is happy alone is the person who can never be disappointed by anyone else. That is true freedom. That is true joy. Embrace this power. Create your own happiness. And watch how your life transforms from the inside out. So far, we have explored embracing your own company, knowing yourself deeply, and creating your own happiness. Now comes a critical step, mastering your thoughts and emotions. Because the truth is this, your mind is like a garden. If you don't tend it, weeds will grow. Negativity, fear, and doubt creep in. You become a prisoner of your own thoughts. Happiness and peace begin in the mind. Control your mind, and you control your life. Solitude offers a unique opportunity. Alone, you can observe your thoughts without distraction. You can decide which thoughts to nurture and which to release. When you are alone, you can finally hear your own inner voice. You can notice patterns, habits, and recurring fears. Ask yourself, what thoughts occupy my mind most of the time? Which of these thoughts serve me, and which hold me back? Am I reacting to life or creating life? Self-awareness is the first step toward mastery. Without awareness, you are at the mercy of automatic reactions. With awareness, you can choose your response. Don't let your circumstances dictate your emotions. Learn to control your inner world first. Happiness alone is not the absence of negative emotions. It is the ability to experience them without being controlled by them. Anger, fear, sadness, or doubt may appear, but you do not have to let them dominate. Acknowledge your emotions. Understand why they arise. Choose how you respond. This is emotional mastery. It is the foundation of resilience, and it is the hallmark of someone who can be happy alone. The greatest gift you can give yourself is the ability to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Solitude is often misunderstood as emptiness or loneliness. In reality, it is a source of light. It allows you to reflect, recharge, and reconnect with what matters most. In the quiet, you can reassess your goals, evaluate your relationships, clarify your priorities, dream freely without judgment. In the stillness, you will find clarity. In the quiet, you will find your power. When you learn to find light in solitude, the world outside becomes less intimidating. Challenges no longer shake you as much. Disappointments no longer define you. You have a center, a source of calm and strength that nothing can take away. 1. Daily reflection. Spend 10-15 minutes each day observing your thoughts. Notice recurring patterns. Journal insights. 2. Mindful breathing or meditation. Focus on your breath. Quiet your mind. Gain control over restless thoughts. 3. Positive affirmations. Replace negative self-talk with empowering statements. For example, I am complete within myself. I choose joy, regardless of circumstances. 4. Reframe challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, see them as opportunities to grow and learn. 5. Gratitude practice. Focus on what is already good in your life. Gratitude strengthens emotional resilience. When you master your thoughts and emotions, solitude becomes a sanctuary. It is a place of strength, not weakness. A place of growth, not emptiness. A place where happiness is created, not borrowed. The more you control your inner world, the less the outer world can disturb you. You will notice a profound shift. The noise of the world, the opinions of others, and the chaos of life will no longer dictate your mood. You will carry a steady light within you, warm, consistent, and empowering. This is the essence of learning to be happy alone. Not just enjoying your time, but thriving in it. Not just existing in solitude, but flourishing. So today, in your moments of solitude, ask yourself, are my thoughts serving me or draining me? Am I reacting or creating? Am I choosing light over darkness? The person who controls their mind and emotions is never at the mercy of life's storms. They carry peace wherever they go. Master your thoughts. Master your emotions. Find light in solitude. And in doing so, you will discover that being alone is not empty. It is empowering, enlightening, and full of possibility. By now, you've learned to embrace your own company, know yourself deeply, create your own happiness, and master your thoughts and emotions. The final step is where transformation truly comes full circle. Thriving alone and attracting positivity into your life. Many people believe that being happy alone is the end goal. But it's not just about happiness, it's about thriving. It's about becoming so strong, so aligned, so self-sufficient, that positivity naturally gravitates toward you. The ultimate reason for being happy alone is not to escape the world, but to attract the right kind of world to you. When you thrive alone, you radiate confidence. You project peace. You inspire others not by words, but by presence. Thriving alone is not isolation. It is independence. It is the ability to meet your own needs without relying on external sources for validation or approval. Consider this. People who are happy alone are magnetic. They do not chase. They do not beg for attention. They do not depend on others to feel complete. Happiness that depends on others is fragile. Happiness that comes from within is unstoppable. When you are self-sufficient, positivity naturally flows to you. People, opportunities, and experiences are drawn to your energy, not because you need them, but because your presence adds value. Your emotional energy is like a signal. The world responds to it. When you thrive alone, your energy shifts from scarcity to abundance, from fear to confidence, from dependency to empowerment. People are naturally drawn to someone who has inner peace, projects joy, lives in alignment with their values, is confident and self-reliant. You don't need to change the world. You simply need to improve yourself, and the right things will come to you. Practical steps to thrive alone and attract positivity. This is the true power of thriving alone. You do not need to force positivity. You attract it effortlessly because you embody it. 1. Cultivate your passions and interests. Engage deeply in what excites and fulfills you. When you invest in your growth, energy naturally radiates outward. 2. Surround yourself with positive influences. Even if you enjoy solitude, choose books, podcasts, mentors, or media that uplift and inspire you. Energy is contagious. 3. Practice gratitude and optimism. Focus on what is abundant in your life. This mindset strengthens your magnetic pull for positive experiences. 4. Serve and contribute. Helping others, even in small ways, creates ripple effects of positivity. Thriving alone doesn't mean ignoring the world, it means contributing from a place of strength. 5. Maintain boundaries. Protect your energy. Avoid people, situations, or habits that drain or destabilize you. Thriving alone requires conscious choices about what you allow in your life. Thriving alone also means embracing who you truly are without compromise. You no longer live to please others. You no longer measure yourself by someone else's standards. You no longer fear solitude. Instead, you live in alignment with your values, passions, and vision. You create a life that feels good to your heart, mind, and spirit. The person who thrives alone is unstoppable because their happiness, energy, and focus come from within. And here's the beauty of it. When you thrive in solitude, your relationships also improve. You attract healthier connections, not out of need, but out of abundance. You give love freely, without dependence. You inspire others to elevate themselves simply by being present. So today, take stock of your solitude. Ask yourself, am I thriving or merely existing? Is my energy positive, abundant, and aligned? Am I creating, attracting, and contributing in meaningful ways? Learn to be happy alone, and you become unstoppable. Learn to thrive alone, and positivity becomes your natural state. Embrace the power of your own presence. Build your inner world so strong, so full, and so aligned that the universe responds in kind. Thrive alone, radiate positivity, and watch how life begins to meet you at your highest potential. The journey to happiness alone is not an escape from life, it is a mastery of life.